ultimate fanfare.
It's ultimate fanfare.
What's going on, world? What's happening? Welcome to this episode of the Playaction Podcast. We got Brandon here. What's going on, Colin? What's up, bro?
Man, you know, we just had Wild Card Weekend. We got a little bit about the coaches. But Wild Card Weekend was amazing. I gotta say, this is probably one of the best playoffs, at least wild card seasons, that I've ever watched, because every game was dope except for the very last one, which is gonna be.
Yeah.
I'm gonna enjoy talking about that. But there's nothing but amazing games, man. And then all the coaches. It's like I feel like half the league, not quite half the league, a third of the league, whatever, is without a coach. And I need to talk about that because not everyone's going to fit everywhere. And not only that, I'm a Giants fan. Who is going to be our coach? Okay? And then one surprise. But anyway, starting out with Rams, my Super Bowl favorites for me. Panthers, who are like the upset kings. 34-31. I never thought this game would be that close. Amazing game. Panthers looking like the team of destiny. Like they were just like destined to go just knock off Giants. But the Rams came through. Matt Stafford came through with a great touchdown. Stifling defense to close it out. I'm still believing the Rams, but the way the Panthers played, I'm excited about their future. But anyway, enough about their future. Rams, how do you feel? I still got them going to the Super Bowl, running the NFC. What say you, my friend Brandon?
Oh, yeah, definitely. The Rams, they might have the best receiving core left in the playoffs. With Pika and Devontae Adams. Hey, they are scary combo. And I see somebody recently was just saying that we thought that Devontae Adams was cooked, and Matt Stafford got him looking like an MVP again. Like he might have another 5 years left at him. This is crazy. But hey, shout out Bryce Young though. Shout out Bryce Young. He put on a good playoff performance. Of course he didn't. He came up short, but we really didn't expect the Carolina Panthers to get to the playoffs anyway. Because I mean, if they were under 500. So, hey, good job. You got there, did your thing. But Matt Stafford, it's Matt Stafford time. Like we talked about it. I know that's your MVP pick. I understand. That's your boy, and he played like an MVP. Came up in. When I seen they score, and I was like, oh, they left Matt Stafford too much time.
Way too much time.
And that was the statement of the weekend. They left too much time on the clock because a couple games came out into the last couple of possessions. It was a great weekend of football. We was blessed for it, and we got that Monday night game too. Cause especially how last week of the season is always, oh man, we ain't gonna have Monday night football no more. But
right.
We got one. We got a Monday night football game. But I did see Tony Dungy bring that up. It kind of sucks for the NFL players because some of them are gonna be on a short week. But I mean, and it's because of ratings. But hey, I'm here for it. I'm cool with it. It is what it is. Hey, you gotta adjust. You're professionals. Make it happen. But I mean, it is a short week for the Texans coming up. So, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see. But overall, great weekend of football. I can't complain. Matt Stafford did his thing, MVP-ish. He did it.
MVP-ish. Hey, he is gonna be the MVP. Okay, that I'm calling it right now. Matt Stafford's gonna be the MVP because, I mean, 46 touchdowns is 46 touchdowns. I mean, that's a lot of touchdowns. There's only a few seasons, 49, 50, and a 50, 55, I think. You gotta give it to him. I don't care how the regular season went. Drake May had a better regular season. Matt Stafford, what he did, regardless of his age, was epic. I think this may be his best season ever. You know what other the best season ever is? The freaking Bears over the Packers. Okay, Bears-Packers, 31-27, another close game. But I'm watching this game, and all I can think is unbelievable. I mean, this game was back and forth, emotionally up and down. I can't imagine if you're like a Bears fan or a Packer fan, your guts are right here. They're in your throat. Your field good's going back. Soldier Field was going nuts. But again, Bears down again. Caleb Williams, proving he was worth the number one overall pick, pulls him out of the fire again. I've not been giving Green Bay too much love, but, their defense showed a lot of grit, even without Micah Parsons. But the Bears, again, overcame it. I'm telling you right now, the Bears legit. Like I said, I got the Rams going to the Super Bowl. But these Chicago Bears, I think they're going to be good for a long time because they got a young core. And Caleb Williams, he is proven to be the truth. He's got to up his completion percentage, but that kick and ball, man.
Yeah, I see him rolling out to the left on like 4th down and like 10 or 12, and like off of a running, stop, dropped a dime, absolute dime on 4th down. So I was like, bro, the season might be over with. And he came through and did that. I was like, all right, bro, I'm not the biggest fan. I've never been the biggest fan of Caleb Williams. But, hey, you got to respect the baller. And he showed up and he showed out. Showed up and showed out this past weekend. But shout out Jordan Love, too. You played a good game. Injuries can't happen. The Packers, their defense they wasn't full strength. Like you just mentioned, Michael Parsons being out. But at the same time, it's playoff football. Nobody's, going to be uninjured going into the postseason. So you got to step up with the players that you got, and the Bears did that. And Soldier Field, like you just mentioned, they was going crazy this past weekend. And hey, Matt Stafford, NFC, bro, might have to watch out for Caleb Williams. Hey, this playoffs. It depends. The next round, we gonna see how it goes. But Caleb Williams, hey, it's rookie season. No, not sophomore season, right? Sophomore season.
For Caleb, I think it's third year.
Third year? Okay, might be. Year. Okay, might be third year. Okay, all right. I thought it was. I thought Stroud. This is Stroud's third year, or maybe fourth year.
Yeah, Caleb went number 1. Stroud went number 2 or number 3.
I thought Stroud was the class before Caleb. But okay, my bad. That's you're right.
Yeah. But man, I'm telling you, you're right. I mean, Caleb is. I think his explosion because of Ben. The new head coach. He's really got a really good system there. Not that it was terrible before, but it was terrible before. And I see a bright future for Chicago. Yeah, probably for a long time.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Surprising here though. Buffalo Bills, Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, I mean, if you at the beginning of the season. Not surprised, Bills over the Jags. But during the season, when the Jags, I think, went on an 8-9 game winning streak, and this came down to the end, 27-24, bro. Jags,
yeah, bro.
This was a defense struggle. Just watching this, I mean, it was a defense struggle the entire game until the fourth quarter. 4 lead changes in the fourth quarter, okay, to end the game. Of course, with Josh Allen, gets a touchdown. But Trevor Lawrence throwing a pick at the end of the game off his own receiver's hands, that was epic. But what I didn't realize was Josh Allen, he was 0-5 on road games in the playoffs. And so getting this, I think it's really special for him, especially since I think this was more of it was a good year for Josh Allen. We're not talking about his MVP candidate, but I thought this was, his for the taking. You got Lamar out, Burrow's not in there, Mahomes not in there. He should just run roughshod over, last year's Josh Allen would have run roughshod over this year's playoffs. But this year it's a little different, but he still got the win. I think the Bills are going to make a lot of noise there in the AFC. Even though this was a tough one against the Jags, Josh Allen is that guy, and he's got so much to prove, and here's his chance to get to the AFC Championship game and maybe punch a ticket to the Super Bowl. What say you?
Oh, yeah, this is definitely Josh Allen's best chance to get into the Super Bowl right now. He better take advantage of this situation because, like you just mentioned, Mahomes being out, Lamar being out, Burrow's not being out, bro. Those have been your nemesis leading up to this point in time. So he has no excuses right now, as far as I'm concerned. And hey, late in the game, I seen a real funny play with his lineman. It was like 4th and 1 at like the 10-yard line. His lineman, they did like the little tush push, and his lineman literally picked him up and walked him to the end zone. I was like, bro, what is this? Is this possible? Like, is it legal? But hey, shout out Josh Allen, bro. Shout out my boy Ricardo. That's his favorite team. You know what I'm saying? So I know he's happy to see them progress. But hey, shout out Jacksonville Jaguars. Y'all had an incredible season. I seen that reporter that spoke up good words to the head coach. She's getting some flack, talking about that's not real journalism. She wasted people's time, bro. It's kind of a bad world we're in right now, where it's like you're getting mad at somebody for like giving somebody some praise, I mean,
That's crazy.
it's a crazy situation, but it is what it is. But the Jacksonville Jaguars didn't even have their number one pick right now, so the future looks bright because Travis Hunter's been out majority of the season when they went on this run.
Right.
So
if they would have him, it might have been different.
Exactly, and like you just said, he ended the game with an interception bouncing off the receiver's hands. So you never know what's going on, but hey, Jacksonville Jaguars, hey, their future looks bright for the first time in a long time, and the Bills, their future looks even brighter. You got the Texans or the Patriots after this. Cause I think that's who they play. You know what I'm saying, after whoever the Bills play, but yeah, bro, he has a good shot, a clean path to the Super Bowl.
I don't know how clean it's gonna be, but this is his best shot because, like you said, everyone who's standing before him. Okay, this is the year Jordan retired. Okay, Josh Allen, you're the Rockets. Here's your chance. You're the Rockets, you're the Knicks. Which one do you want? You want to miss the layup in Game 7? Or are you gonna be Elijah Wan? So we'll see though. Hey, another big opportunity, another big loss here is 49ers, Philadelphia Eagles 23-19 49ers. This was, I know you watched this game too, defensive battle most of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no surprise to me that the 49ers won this game though.
Yeah.
The Philadelphia offense, they've been meh all year long. You think about last year, we talked about them having maybe the best wide receiver tandem in A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith.
Yep.
The best running back in Saquon Barkley. Serviceable tight ends. And then Jalen Hurts, we had him as a top 10 quarterback, right? This year, I don't know. I mean, obviously when it happened, they lost the offensive coordinator. They already fired their one-year offensive coordinator. And I think for good reason because you have so much talent. And yet it just could not show up against a 49er defense missing Fred Warner, missing Nick Bosa. Okay? They lost George Kittle during the game, and you still couldn't take advantage. I gotta say this. Even though I know Philly, A.J. Brown had some bad drops, Devonta Smith had a drop, they had some drops, but that happens during the game. But let's take a look at the 49ers. I just read that Fred Warner, because they won the game, Fred Warner has a chance of coming back. Now, Nick Bosa, not so much, but that defense who shut down Philly, not so great offense, but getting Fred Warner back, that could change everything in the NFC.
Yeah, Fred Warner, I don't know if he needs to come back right now to risk that injury, because, bro, that injury looked gruesome when he went through it, bro. So, hey, bro, if he walking and doing football drills, we got to see. If they make a late playoff run, hey, fall for it. It's crazy because the 49ers always go through injury issues in the postseason. Always. I don't know why. I heard some rumors about their facility being next to a power plant. I think I just thought about that. Really? But somebody, NFL dudes, they go real, superstitious and particular and stuff like that, go to details. But they were saying, it's kind of ironic that, like I say, they always injury prone throughout the postseason. But the 49ers, they played a good game. The Eagles, it's the Eagles. They haven't been looking dominant all season. And then with A.J. Brown, come on, bro. You can't be talking all this trash and complaining about the targets you getting and then dropping 2 or 3 key passes in the game. I seen it.
Passes.
And I see exactly, and I seen the coach run up and jump in his face and start talking trash like, bro, you want the effing ball? Catch the effing ball there, bro. Lift it up. And it's like, hey, you brought this on yourself. And it's like, I'm usually with the rah guys, but it's come on, bro. If you gonna talk that talk, you gotta walk that walk. And it's like, bro, come on. I'm with. I grew up with watching The Rock, wrestling, talking shit, I like people that talk cash shit. But it's like, come on, bro, if you gonna talk cash shit, you gotta back that shit up. So it's like, hey, A.J. Brown, I don't know if he's gonna be returning next season. And if I'm the Eagles, I might see what I can get for him. And I don't want DK Metcalf. We don't not want DK Metcalf. We don't want that. But if he can get somebody else to go, besides Devontae Smith. Hey, bro, it might be AJ Brown's time to go because he can't be having performances like that in prime time moments.
I think they'll probably try to trade him. They're going to try to get a first-round pick for him, but because of that last performance in this year, which wasn't his fault, AJ Brown to me is still a top 10 receiver, and in the right system might be a top 5. But they'll probably get a second-round pick for him. You know, they'll get a second-round pick, and they'll go and draft another receiver, which would be fine. But the problem is it A.J. Brown, or is it the offense, or is it Jalen Hurts? Is it the offensive coordinator? You know, whose fault is it? It's someone's fault. And I got to say, I think everyone is going to drop the ball sometimes. I mean, Mark Andrews got destroyed last year with Baltimore having his 2 key drops, right? It's unfortunate, but it doesn't take away from who he is as a player. And the same thing, A.J. Brown, I've hardly ever seen him drop a ball, period. And so watching that game, I was like, oh, damn, yeah. Like you said, he might be on his way out.
Yeah.
It would be so stupid. I mean, Jalen Hurts is not going to carry a team with his arm, and I'm watching him run around. He can't even outrun defensive tackles. Okay? Now, anyone can run up the middle when it's wide open and get a few yards. But watching him run laterally, I'm thinking, man, we got Jordan Davis over here keeping up with him, who's 100 pounds heavier than he is.
I told you earlier this season, he's the fastest, slowest looking person I've ever seen. Cause, bro, looking at him run, he does not look fast at all. But like he
could away from anybody. And that was there was no Nick Bosa and there was no Fred Warner. Okay, I don't know. I mean, they shut him down completely. I mean, he had a very, very meh game, as the kids say. And
then Saquon Barkley getting hurt. You know, like I think like midway through the third quarter, that didn't hurt. That didn't help the situation. So I mean, it was a compounding situation for the Eagles, and with their offensive coordinator left from last year. I believe
it was Kellen Moore.
Yeah. So hey, it's a bad situation. We're gonna see, you know, how the Eagles can move forward. The Eagles have never won back-to-back Super Bowl champions anyway, so I wasn't really expecting them to go, you know, double up.
Right.
But you know, it is what it is. You know, I wish the 49ers well moving forward.
Absolutely. You know, because I'm a Brock Purdy fan. I love the underdog story. But when you look at Brock Purdy and not to keep on going with it, Brock Purdy and Jalen Hurts, I see essentially almost the same guy, except Brock Purdy just makes quicker decisions. But athletically the same arm strength, you know, similar cast around them. I mean, Brock Purdy has a little less in terms of receivers, but overall, when they have George Kittle healthy, pretty much the same team. But I think Brock Purdy just makes better decisions. Speaking of young folks making decisions, the Patriots, Drake May, the young person I'm talking about, and the Chargers, Justin Herbert, also I'm talking about. Patriots win 16-3. Now, I'm not surprised that the Patriots won this game by no means because they've been handling business, even though they haven't had a high level of competitive wins. I get that. People talk in there, especially on TikTok, you know, the Patriots, who have they played? Who have they played? You can't decide who you play in the NFL. It's not like college. You get to pick a few games. They play who they play, and they beat who they play. And now they're going against the Chargers, and they beat them too. But, bro, so the Chargers, now I'm a Giants fan, so I'm going back to Eli and Phillip Rivers. The Chargers have been charmed. Okay, they've had great teams. Phillip Rivers, you know, Sean Merriman, and LaDainian Thomas, and Antonio Gates, and Vince Jackson. And now you've got Justin Herbert, and you've got Quentin Johnson. I don't know who else they got there in the game, but they got some decent defensive players. But Justin Herbert's a good player. But no matter what, the Chargers can't seem to just get it done. It seems like they're always the team of destiny. Everyone wants to talk about how good the Chargers are, but at the end of the day, they're going to fail. But now the Patriots are taking over. And I hate to sit there and hijack this whole little rant about the Pats and Chargers to go talk about who I think the real representative of the AFC is going to be. It's going to be between the Broncos and the Bills. The Broncos and the Bills, one of those teams are going to represent the AFC. And again, the Patriots, Chargers, great game. Patriots, good win. But it's going to come down to the Broncos and the Bills. And I don't know if you want to talk about the Patriots, Chargers. I've been having a few drinks, so I apologize for that. That I'm kind of ranting over the place. But I don't care about the Patriots. Chargers are trash their whole freaking careers. I'd rather talk about the Bills and the Broncos. Bro, what do you
I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. I just don't want to gloss over of Herbert's horrible record in the postseason. We have to talk about that, bro. Cause I think he's like 0-5 or 0-7 or something like that. I don't even know if he's been to the playoffs 7 times, but I ain't gonna say 7. No. But like he's over. Okay, he's over. You know, and that's terrible. And for you to be considered an elite quarterback, I don't want to hear that anymore. And like people would say at the beginning of the season, people were like, "Oh yeah, Herbert's better than Jalen Hurts." I'm like, bro, Jalen Hurts is a winner, bro. He just won a Super Bowl, really, bro.
Super MVP.
Yeah, it is like, come on, bro. And this dude, like, hey, granted, he got rocked this game. I see him get hit a couple times. I was like, bro, bro. And I was like, this is playoff football. You know, it sucks sometimes, so it is what it is. But yeah, I'm with you. I don't see I'm hoping the Patriots don't come out the AFC. I'm hoping the Patriots, because I'm thinking once Brady retired, I was thinking that, all right, yes, we're going back to the Drew Bledsoe days where the Patriots is just the bottom of the barrel. And they're just going to ride off into the sunset. They're like, you know, but now we got Variable and we got Drake May. Yeah. And it's like, come on, bro. I don't want to see this for the next 15 years. And so it's like, hopefully Josh Allen gets it done, makes it happen. I don't want to see the Broncos do it because I don't want to see Bo Nix, because Bo Nix is, he might be a problem, bro. Like, he quiet because he in Denver. Nobody really pays attention to Denver because it's way out west. But it's like they ain't been doing nothing but stacking W's, stacking wins,
bro.
And it's like, and with Sean Payton being an experienced coach in the playoffs, that's a scary team right there to play. And nobody really wants to play the Broncos, especially when they have home field advantage in the Mile High Stadium. You know how that affects the opposing players. So yeah, I'm hoping that Josh Allen takes care of business, but hey, bro, I do not want to see a young. Well, I don't want to say young because Bo Nix was one of those 6-7 year quarterbacks in college, but you know, early, you know, mid-20s quarterback. You know, what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, he got another good solid 10 years left. You know what I'm saying? Before he's 35, 36. So I don't want to see him get a chip early and just set him on a path, because he could be like, you know, how we view Patrick Mahomes right now, and how Patrick, you know, he's on a good, you know, echelon going up. I know he hurt right now, but it is, well, you know, injuries happen. This is part of the game. But bro, you know how bro is. We expect him to be in it every year, and then when he went below 500 this year, everybody was like, well, he'll be all right next year. We wasn't not expecting his talent level is there.
No, not at all. You know, like I said, this Bo Nix, he's I think he's a good player. The reason why I don't see him like I see Kansas City, Sean Payton is a hell of a coach. I don't think he's gonna get out coached in the playoffs. I think his players will let him down, but Sean Payton's not getting out coached. But I don't see Bo Nix like a Patrick Mahomes. I see Bo Nix as a above average game manager, kind of like an Alex Smith. Alex Smith can take your team to the Super Bowl. Alex Smith can win you a Super Bowl. Okay, Trent Dilfer, I think, was half of Alex Smith. Brad Johnson, half Alex Smith. Bo Nix, I think, is like Alex Smith. He's got good athleticism. He's got a mid arm for sure, but he's accurate. He's smart, processes quickly, but sometimes he gets confused. So the Broncos will go as far as Bo Nix can take them, and Sean Payton can coach them. And that kind of leads me to another team with another young quarterback, not as young as Bo Nix, but very close, and that's the Texans Steelers. They're literally polar opposites of each other. Okay, one's a newer franchise, one is a core franchise, but the new one, Texans, 30-6 over the freaking Steelers. It was a bit of a surprise to me, only because I don't know if, because of this season, if C.J. Stroud was going to carry this team on his back.
Yep.
But thankfully, he didn't have to, because he had a very, very, very mid-game. 1 touchdown, a pick, 5 effing fumbles, 2 lost. But he had a decent run game and the number 1 defense to carry the day, which they freaking did. And Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers, like we said at the beginning of the season, looked old, slow, out of sorts. I have a feeling it's going to be Aaron Rodgers' last game in the NFL unless he just says, you know, F it, I'm going to go and be the quarterback for... I don't know what team is quarterback that bad, but anyway, Aaron Rodgers did have to go against a pretty stout defense. But if you're an all-time great, you're an all-time great. You need to overcome that shit. But they couldn't. Texans, with their okay offense, but top-tier, world-defeating defense, can they take that to the AFC Championship and beyond, is what I want to know.
Bro, we got to see what we're going to get out of C.J. Stroud, because he can't have another performance like that. That was real suspect. But their defense, oh my God, their defense is snapping, bro. I don't know what is going on, because like we talked about it, if they had the Dallas Cowboys offense and the Texans defense, that might be a scary team. Nobody want to play that team. So it just depends on what CJ Stroud gonna do. Like, bro, we know he can't have another performance like this moving forward. So I think they play the Patriots next. Yeah. So we're gonna see what happens, but I'm hoping CJ Stroud can get through the Patriots, but hey, anything's possible with this defense, because this defense is looking like one of them all time. Like, I see them shutting down the run. I see them intercepting and taking the ball to the house. You seen, and that was terrible. How if that is Aaron Rodgers' last game, the last throw, that pick six, and the dude just like stops and just throws Aaron Rodgers out the way. He's like, get your ass out of here, bro. What you doing, bro? I'm taking this to the house, bro. And that's it. I was like, bro, damn. God damn. So,
that should be enough for Aaron Rodgers when to come back.
Yeah,
not like
bro.
His lasting memory.
Yeah, bro, for real. So CJ Stroud got to step it up for sure. And so we gonna see, but they defense is top tier. And if to be honest with you, I think they might have the best defense left in the playoffs right now.
Oh, by a mile. I mean, you got Will Anderson out there, young buck balling.
Yeah.
That old vet Daniil was it Hunter? Anyway, Daniil something balling. I'm telling you, D'Amico Ryan's got that defense humming. Okay?
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing on defense. He was an outstanding linebacker there for the Texans. So they got that thing going on. And I think he is definitely an ascending young head coach. And if he can take the team far, it's only going to bode well in his future, because whoever he hires as offensive, defense coordinator, special teams, other offensive and defensive assistants, that coaching crew with D'Amico Ryans, if he shows success, could be promising.
Yep.
And which is a perfect segue into our next topic, which is about coaches. We're gonna have a separate show about this, but we're gonna do it today, because even though we got a little bit of a path of what we want to talk about, just got word Mike Tomlin of the Pittsburgh Steelers decided to step down. 19 years, okay, 2 Super Bowls, multiple AFC Championship games, multiple divisional titles. He's a very, 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 very respected head coach in all NFL circles. I can't believe he stepped down. I'm kind of wondering, I love conspiracy theory. Was Mike Tomlin fired but given the option to step down to save, just to save face, or did you think he stepped down on his own accord?
I think he's probably stepped down on his own accord. I mean, it was probably pressure to fire him, but I mean, bro, he had a winning season. He made it to the playoffs. I mean, he did step down one loss before breaking the record for, I think, Marvin Lewis for the most playoff losses in a row at like 7 or 8. So it was like, hey, bro, he might have stepped down at the right time. Shout out Mike Tomlin. I heard he's talking about he wants to coach, if he coaches again, he wants to coach at a team in a warmer environment. He wants to get out of the cold. So
really?
Wow. That's what I'm hearing. I've heard some people recently throw his name around over in Atlanta, saying that he could come down here, play in the Dome. So I mean, after years and years of playing up there in that cold in Pittsburgh, I can see how he would want a change of climate. So I understand. But also, that Miami job is open. Is always open right now too, as well. So
Yeah.
it's a possibility. It's a possibility. Hey, it's a coaching carousel right now because we gonna talk about it. I see it in you know what I'm saying coming up, bro. It was Black Monday. What last week?
Yeah.
A bunch of coaches got let go, and I'm happy about they had Cleveland let go of Stefanski. So I was cool about that one. But Harbaugh, I wasn't expecting Harbaugh. But hey, bro, hey, I'm sorry. I know I jumped ahead. My bad. I just thought about it. But if you're not running Derrick Henry in the fourth quarter, bro, it kind of leads to questioning your decision making.
Yeah, what are you doing? What are you doing? I mean, and like, talk about McTominay real quick. I think he's going to be a very hot name, but he talked about wanting to step away. So if you want to step away, I don't know if he's going to want to coach again. But to segue into John Harbaugh, I think he'd be a great fit in Baltimore with Lamar Jackson and the other place I was thinking about, Miami. They have nothing going for themselves. However, Atlanta, with Michael Penix, Kyle Pitts, Drake London, they have got a nice offensive core for him to step into there or Baltimore. But speaking of Baltimore, John Harbaugh, man, he is definitely the hottest name in the market. And the only reason why I say he's the hottest is because no one expected Mike Tomlin to leave Pittsburgh. Okay, and the fact he sat down, I kind of put him to the side because he might just want to just have some of his own time. But John Harbaugh, I love him as a coach. I've always loved him, even though he's his Ravens not. He was in the coach of the Ravens when they beat my Giants in '99. He's been a coach of consistency every year. They have been always in the playoffs, with the exception of a few years. AFC Championship games, winning Super Bowls, cultivating talent, just being the model of consistency. When you hear him talk, you know he's the head coach. You don't think, he's the offensive coordinator, he's the defense. No, he's the head coach. And I think he's going to be the most sought after coach. I'm hoping he comes to my New York Giants. I don't want Mike Tomlin. The reason why I don't Mike because he's been there so long. The Rooney's got a different system.
Yeah.
The Giants, we don't have that type of stability. I don't know if Mike Tomlin can handle the crap we got though, but I think Harbaugh definitely can. I mean, if you've got a quarterback who you had to sell to everybody who was trying to turn into a wide receiver or running back, you make him a quarterback. Like you were saying last week, you made him a quarterback. You believed in him. You made a system around him. I want him to do that with Jackson Dart. Come over to Jackson Dart. We got Cam Scattered. We got Tyron Trace coming back. We'll have a decent running game. Develop a team around him. Get a running game. Get some wide receivers. And develop a disgusting, nasty defense that he's had at different points in his career. I think John Harbaugh is definitely the best coach out there. And I'd say he's a top 3 head coach, working or not.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Jim Harbaugh, top 3 coach, working or not, most definitely. Tomlin, he gonna have to have a special fit because I think he might just want to take a year off. Dealing with everything dealing with everything he just dealt with. I mean, he should have drafted Shador last season. That's I'm still gonna throw that in there. Should have drafted my boy. He wouldn't have to go through this situation right now with Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
But it is what it is. He had to deal with old man Rodgers. Doing all his shenanigans all season. But I don't understand what they was thinking because the thing that made Aaron Rodgers special was his mobility and him being close to 40 years old. That was going to be extremely limited. So it is what it is. I'm unfortunate. It cost him his job, but he should have drafted my boy because, like you just said, the Pittsburgh and Miami are looking real dissimilar right now. Both teams don't have a quarterback. They don't know what their future looks like.
They don't have anyone in. Who's the backup? Who's the backup? Nobody knows who the freaking backup. I mean, Mason Rudolph in Pittsburgh, but anyway.
I know the Dolphins got Ewers. Quinn Ewers. Yeah. He wasn't a standout to me at Texas, so I don't know why. It is what it is. Yeah, Harbaugh is definitely top 3. I heard some rumors about Chucky. John Gruden.
That.
I heard rumors.
That.
John Gruden coming back, but he still has to get through that lawsuit he has with NFL. So I don't know if they will be giving him any employment anytime soon. I believe that's why he's been exclusively employed from ESPN recently. But so we gonna see. What's the boy? Flores. He has a job right now, and he's suing the NFL.
He will not be a head coach either because he's got a suit against the NFL also for.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
that's gonna make him nuclear energy too. I mean, he's so good of a coach.
Wait. I understand that, but we might have to apologize to him because he might have been right with the whole Tua situation.
Possibly.
I mean, bro, Tua got benched by one of the most chill coaches ever. Like that dude was like, he was like your high school science teacher, cool. You know what I'm saying? The head coach, he was just laid back, relaxed. He was letting Tua get away with anything. So I don't understand like how Tua messed up that situation. But it is what it is. I wasn't the biggest Tua fan in the first place. So Brian Flores might have been like he said. I think we owe him an apology because he was right about Tua being lackadaisical, not really caring about football. It is what it is. I wish he would have did better, but
Yeah, well, Flores handled that situation very poorly. He can say whatever he wants about a quarterback, but you're the head coach. You're supposed to set the example.
Yeah.
To me, a good leader doesn't throw people under the bus publicly. You chastise in private. You praise in public. And Brian Flores doesn't really understand that yet because he's not a traditional leader of men, but I think he's learned a lot, and I think he should get an opportunity. Drop that lawsuit, get a head coaching job, prove everyone wrong, be successful. You're too freaking smart to sit as a defense coordinator because you're brilliant. You are freaking brilliant. He's a brilliant mind. He really is.
It really
Speaking
is.
of brilliant minds, you're going to disagree with me, but Kevin Stefanski. He's a two-time Coach of the Year winner, by the way. Two-time Coach of the Year winner. You don't. While he was the Cleveland Browns, that says something. And I know you don't like how he handles Shedeur Sanders and this, that, the other, but at the end of the day, Stefanski knows X's and O's. He knows X's and O's. He's a player's coach, and he has made a lot from not a lot. He's made the playoffs when this is a lottery team, and he's like, no, we're going to get 10 wins with Case Keenum. We're going to get 10 wins with people that you think are like should be out of the league or third backups. So, I don't know. I would love Kevin Stefanski with the Giants. I think he's got a very innovative mind. I think he understands X and O's. I think he understands play calling. Again, when he was with Cleveland, Dylan Gabriel, he had 2 rookies playing, and they both played decent. You had your edge, defensive end, Myles Garrett, break the sack record. Okay? The Browns have drafted well. They really have drafted well. Denzel Ward, they've had a lot of good draft picks. I think Kevin Stefanski should be getting a good shot, and I think a good landing spot for him would be Miami. Because they need culture, they need someone who's going to be a leader of men. They need someone who knows X and O's. Mike McDaniels, he knows X and O's, but he's not a leader of men. Mike McDaniels is a good guy, but not someone you'd say, hey, that's the general. We're all going to run through a wall for him. No, he's that offensive coordinator. Kevin Stefanski is the head coach. He's going to bring in a good offensive coordinator. He's going to bring in a good defense coordinator. He has won of the Browns before, by the way. Joe Flacco went to the playoffs. So it's a cursed franchise, but he's somehow been able to overcome that curse. If you can put your Shedeur feelings aside, Kevin Stefanski, where does he fit? What do you think?
I'm cool with Kevin Stefanski going to the Dolphins. That is perfectly fine with me. I have no emotional attachment to the Dolphins at all. Like they can do what they want to do. Okay, I'm perfectly fine with him going to the Dolphins. What I do not want to see him go is to my Ravens. Okay, please stay away from the Ravens. Okay, please stay away from Lamar. Please. Okay, so like I am perfectly fine with Kevin Stefanski going to the Dolphins, do his thing. Hey, he can even come to Atlanta. I'm not really the biggest Atlanta Falcons fan. I'm cool with that.
He would be great in Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm cool with
Atlanta.
I'm cool with that as well, but I wouldn't want. Well, yes, I'm cool with that because Mike Penix is already an established starter for this team. It won't be any quarterback controversy where I have to worry about is he sabotaging anybody. So you know what I'm saying. So hey, you know I'm still a little salty. Okay, I'm sorry, but hey, Stefanski, hey, do your thing, bro. I don't never want anybody to do what we do bad. I don't want anybody to wish ill on anybody. So I hope he has a successful career moving forward. Just not with my teams. And
I'm over that. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I know you said he might possibly go to the Giants. Long as he don't do my boy Jackson Dart wrong, I'm cool with that too as well. You know what I'm saying? But hey, if he comes to the Giants, I'm going to hold him to a much higher standard. Okay, I don't want any shenanigans. I don't want any back and forth. Who's the starter? This and that. It's my boy Jackson Dart and Scatterboo. Okay, I don't want to hear no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Okay, because so if we can establish that moving forward, I'm cool with that. But as far as him, he go anywhere else as long as he don't go to the Ravens or I mean he could go to the Steelers. He go to the Steelers. I'm cool. I'm cool. Yes. That'd be a good fit for him too as well. So either one of those teams, as long as he don't go to the Ravens, I'm cool with that.
I think after the Cleveland Brown experiment, he's going to want to go to a team that has a quarterback. And so I think if he interviews well, I think the Falcons will be the best team for him because, like I said, you got Michael Penix, you've got Drake London, you got Kyle Pitts, you got Bijan Robinson. You've got a full offense. All you got to do is hire a badass defensive coordinator, Brian Flores. The Atlanta Falcons will be back in the playoffs running deep. You got Stefanski as the head coach, Brian Flores as DC. Get an offensive coordinator. I don't care who you get. They're going to be back in the playoffs. Guaranteed.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely. Most definitely.
Now, for a coach that I would want for the Giants, if I can't have John Harbaugh, over Kevin Stefanski, is a coach that hasn't been fired. But I've heard he's on the hot seat, and that is the Green Bay Packers' Matt LaFleur. Even though Aaron Rodgers just gave him a glowing endorsement, he shouldn't be on the hot seat, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, that's another name that I've seen a lot in the different circles being passed around. If Green Bay loses, which they did, even though Jordan Love had a great game, he may be out, which I think would be absolutely stupid for Green Bay. But if he is available, I love him for the Giants or the Falcons. Actually, I love him for almost any team with a quarterback. Because I think Matt LaFleur, he is offensively brilliant. Excellent at game management. You can't control what you can't control. We've already talked about. I don't think Jordan Love is the guy, and so LaFleur can only get so much from it. To me, it's like they're in the Rams. What's their guy? Who's the coach? What's his name? You know what I'm talking about?
For the Rams, I can see his face.
Sean McVay.
Yeah, Sean McVay
had Jared Goff. He liked Jared Goff, but he wasn't the guy.
Yeah, he wasn't.
I'm gonna trade Jared Goff and two firsts for Matt Stafford. And I think Matt Flores is the same thing with Jordan Love. Jordan Love is a good quarterback. But if I could trade him with 2 firsts, I would definitely take Joe Burrow, right? And I think everything turned out differently. Will he get that chance to do something like that? And hey, by the way, Green Bay, I want some credit if you decide to trade for Joe Burrow. Damn it. Anyway, what do you think of Matt LaFleur, and what do you think of him? Either do you think he's going to stay with Green Bay, or do you think he's possibly on his way out?
I think he's probably gonna stay with Green Bay for this situation right now because it's a good situation. Like you say, Jordan Love is he's not the best, but he's a good quarterback. And if you could possibly have a situation where you could trade him and get somebody established like Joe Burrows, that would be an awesome situation. And I know Joe Burrows, with him being Joe Burrows wants to get out of his situation anyway because he is letting it be known he is not having fun in Cincinnati. And we do not want him to pull an Andrew Luck and just be like, you know what? I'm out of here, bro. You guys suck. I'm not getting beat up like this all the time. I'm not going to take all these injuries. Because, bro, they cannot keep him standing up. No. He is injured, like, multiple seasons in a row, consistently. And it was like, when he came back this season, I was like, bro, you have nothing to prove. You guys are not making the playoffs. You don't have to put yourself through this anymore. This line This line has shown that it cannot keep you upright. It cannot keep you safe. And I don't understand what's going on, but yeah, I think Matt LaFleur is going to be yeah, I think he's going to stay around. I mean, if it becomes available, I'm not saying mad about him going to the Giants. And I'm cool with him going to the Giants as well. So hey, I'm with that. I'm with that. So, but hey, it's an emotional week. Every time teams lose in the playoffs, everybody gets upset. Aaron Rodgers said he wasn't gonna make no emotional decisions after that loss last night. So we're gonna see how it goes. But Matt LaFleur, I believe he's in a good situation with a young quarterback. I know you don't really like Love. I'm a fan of Love, so I think he's gonna do something. But hey, Jordan, bro, I hope you prove me right, bro. I hope you prove me right, cause I'm just saying. But Matt LaFleur, I think he's in a good situation. And Mike, they lost Michael Parsons. They went all in this season and got him. It's unfortunate because both the teams that went all in and got two decisive players had major injuries because the Colts went all in and got Sauce Gardner.
Yeah.
And then Daniel Jones got hurt. So it's NFL. It's the game. It's the league of injuries, and whoever can be the healthiest at the end of the season usually is the one that wins. So unfortunately, it's a physical game. It's an unfortunate situation.
It is. And I feel for Matt LaFleur and Green Bay and Jordan Love, because Jordan Love, if he didn't get injured early in the season, maybe they got more continuity and maybe they win that game because it was a close game. But Chicago just seemed like just the better team at that time, and so I mean they were destined to lose. Hey, we're gonna switch gears here, and we're gonna go to something pretty popular right now, and that is college football, and that is the national championship game. Indiana, and not basketball Hoosiers, but the college football Hoosiers. What the F is going on here? Against my boys, Miami Hurricanes. Okay, and they're being quarterbacked by who's the quarterback again?
Georgia? Beck, Carson
What
Beck.
the F is going on around here? So the biggest thing here is that Miami had to go through Ohio State, Indiana had to go through Oregon. It's hard to say who had the tougher matchup, right? But I'll say this though: the Hoosiers, they ran through Oregon. They ran Oregon off the field.
Yeah.
Which I think is very complimentary to Miami when you think about how their team's made up. While Miami, they had a very, very tough, maybe controversial win against Ohio State. I know, bro, you're a Miami fan, through and through, but I also know you're a realist. Do you think Miami's got a real shot against the overwhelmingly dominant Indiana's defensive and offensive lines?
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. Indiana looks scary, bro. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I'm a Hurricanes fan, die-hard Canes fan, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I haven't even really watched this college football playoffs, and I had to do some self-reflection because I have some unhealed trauma from 2002. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you, I have some unhealed trauma. I am holding on to that. I am showing my age right now. Okay, yes. I had heartbreak, okay? Watching my team lose like that in the national championship, it was terrible. So, I'm hoping the Canes do well. I got all the prayers. The prayer warriors are out in South Florida down there. They working. But, because, bro, the Canes missed out because, what's the quarterback's name for Indiana? The Heisman Trophy winner?
Mendoza.
Yeah, Fernando Mendoza. Yes, the Canes. Yes, we got Carson Beck. He has been balling out, but the Canes missed out because Mendoza was a transfer to Indiana. And bro, oh my God, do you know how wild it would have been if the University of Miami had Mendoza as their Heisman Trophy quarterback, a Cuban? In Miami,
right?
Quarterback in the Canes, that would have been epic, bro. Would have been, it might be a good reason why he didn't do that because he about to got in some trouble. He might have been in some issues down in Miami. Because oh my God, bro, the Cubans would have went crazy over this dude. But yes, I see the Canes, the Canes got a good defensive line. Okay, the Canes, they can push pressure on the quarterback. They can, hopefully, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm hoping and praying. I got my fingers crossed. Cause my cousin was messing with me. It was like he called me up on Sunday. He was like, "Hey, what's up, cuz?" I was like, "What's up, cuz?" He was like, "Yeah, you heard Indiana just scored again." Like, gosh, god damn, yeah, bro. They ran it up on Oregon, and a little bit of part of me felt good to see Oregon get embarrassed like that because how Oregon ran the score up on my boys in Colorado a couple years ago. We're doing it for clicks. We're not doing it for wins. So whatever the coach said. Yeah, how you like that down? Okay, how you like that on the biggest stage, one of the biggest stages in college football? So, it is what it is. I'm a little salty. I'm sorry. I got a soft spot for my boys in Dion and Shador in the Sanders family. But yeah, it felt good to see Oregon get embarrassed like that. But yes, I am scared for my Hurricanes. Okay, I'm just being a realist. I'm gonna be real.
Hey man, I'm a University of Washington alma mater, so the Oregon freaking Ducks were always someone I hated. So watching them lose brings joy to my heart. Okay, brings joy to my heart.
Yeah, dog. So, man, I appreciate everybody tapping in, man. Look, follow us on all platforms, Playaction Podcast on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, everything. So, man, I appreciate everybody y'all tapping in. We're going to holler at y'all again next week. And then, like I said, we're going to tap in later on this week with another show because we're going to mix it up again to start the new year. So, I appreciate y'all tapping in, and we'll holler at y'all.
Welcome to the show where the game comes alive. Breaking down the plays, we keep the spirit high. From the field to the mic with passion and flair. It's the Playaction Podcast, your ultimate fanfare.
It's all some more fanfare.